We're gonna start on some bosses that we haven't hit yet. So I'm using solo raids for this, but the strategies that I talk about here should still be the same. So here we have Mohaca, the dreaded Mohaca. The big reason that a lot of us are not too keen on fighting Mohaca is because of the way just because the way he's set up. Mohaca is the kind of Titan that we don't want to hit the torso. And the big reason for that is because he has a lot of torso armor and not a lot of torso HP. So if we look over here at the armor tab, 738k, right? 768k body, so just about the same. 591k like HP till we kill him. His torso HP is only 147. It's the same as his head. Going over to the armor though, 147k armor on the head, so the heads are the same. Torso, it's double. And then arms and legs are 147k, so same as the head. The arms and legs, however, have 236,000. So it's huge. It's a massive, massive increase. So we can attack the head, arms, and legs. The arms and legs, if we were to do those by themselves, would almost be enough to knock out Mohaca. But we still need to put some damage into the head. And so what we'll do here, whenever we do hit Mohaca, that is, I'll pull up some raid cards. Still kind of as with like Takedar and the others, the kind of base deck still applies. So like this one will be a head attack, right? This one we won't use for torso, or at least I won't use for torso. I'll try to throw this on a limb if possible. Because the limbs have so much health, we're gonna want to focus on the limbs more than for the head, for example. Because if we have the head still active, that gives us at least a head deck, right? Instead of having to make 4 limb decks. This is where I mentioned that making limb decks is pretty tough. So we've got, this could be a limb deck, right? This one, swapping out the body and the armor could also be a limb deck. This one can also be a limb deck. If we burn through these 3 samples as limb decks, it's going to be really tough to make a 4th one. A 4th one that's at the very least viable. And so we want to try and make sure that our attacks are dispersed. So for me personally, I'm going to go back to Mohaca's HP values, which is here in solo raids. I was talking with Nintendo, and for those of you who haven't done it, definitely do your solo raids. I personally have hardly touched solo raids, but I do know the rewards are really good. And so you can get a lot of dust, a lot of card levels, and things like that. So Mohaca, what I would personally do for Mohaca is I would try to dump either 2 attacks into arms or 2 attacks into legs, and then 1 attack, let's say for example if I attacked the arms twice, then I would attack the legs once. If I attacked the legs twice, I would attack the arms once, and then I would attack the head. If you're focusing arms, I would highly suggest focusing 1 section of arm at a time. And a big reason for this is so that way people can use Victory March. So if we blast through 1 piece of arm, if we pass through like 1 section of arm, let's say like right shoulder, just as an example, break through the armor, and then break through his body, and now you have the skeleton exposed. So that's 1 piece of skeleton that'll contribute towards Victory March. Break through all 4 of the arms, and now he's got just skeletons for arms. Now we have effectively 4 times Victory March. And so that can actually work very well as a support if need be for like if you're going to tackle the legs. Or let's say if, I don't know how this would happen, but legs and arms get taken out before the head. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times that Victory March is going to stack. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a huge, 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 huge amount of damage from Victory March. So Victory March, of course, it only stacks once, but it gives you damage per skeleton part. And so if we have 6, that's effectively 260% damage increase. Compare that to like my highest support, which is Soulfire. That's only 190. That's 50% lower. Granted, it's still nowhere near as good as a level 14 Fairy Totem, but it's still like that's a huge support given the circumstances work. So that's what I would do for Mohaca. I would try to stick with attacking the arms or legs twice, and then whichever one of those you attack twice, attack the other set of limbs once, and then I would attack the head. Just that way, as I mentioned in the previous videos, we can keep the amount of damage across the Titan as a whole consistent. That'll allow us to, not have to worry about trying to build 4 limb decks, or, oh, that would be awful, 4 head decks. That'd be utterly terrifying. So if we can avoid that, then that'd be really, really good.